everybody. In this video, we're going to continue working with our Vite app. We're going to do the to-do application running inside Vite. I really need to learn how to pronounce that. So let's actually get started. Let's not waste any time here. So as you can see, I have the application running where we leave it last time. The application right there. If we just refresh it, we have the hello there. And it have a little styling, tailwind styling right there. So before we continue, let me just close this and let me open my Visual Studio Code in this directory. This is the command to open it. And we can see that it's actually opening. We have the simple hello there. Let me minimize this for now. We have the hello there. And the text is to Excel and from bold, and the script is actually empty. We don't have pretty much anything in the application right now. So before we proceed, I want to show you some configuration that I enabled in my computer in order to get rid of some issues and something that will help me have a better formatting of the code. This part is going to be completely optional. It's just if you want to do it, but I recommend it actually to do it. I will try to guide you a little bit. It's not going to be step by step, but I will tell you exactly what you need to do in those elements. So one of those, and probably you already saw it, I have an issue here that's told me that Vite is not allowing me to proceed. So let me close this and let me try to open it again. And let me show you that error message. This error message pretty much is Vite, the application to allow us to edit view files, doesn't have like a configuration to know what to do about it, right? And I don't know, in the previous version they don't have this kind of issue, but now they're actually asking for something, and if you put it there, it's going to help you a lot actually. So I would recommend to do it. So you need to have that tsconfig if you're working in TypeScript. We are not doing TypeScript, or gsconfig JSON file in the root folder. So let's actually create this gsconfig JSON. So for that, I will follow up the instruction for the setup Vite we have right here. The way that I find it, you just put in Google Vite gsconfig, and pretty much that's the first option. And it will explain me what we need to do there. So it's recommended to open have SAS for size styling. If we need it, language stylus, we use a stylum. We're not using those for now, but we actually have ESLint there. So if you follow up and installed everything from level for Sarah Bresner, I believe, and we have the code station pack. If you install all this once from Sarah Drasner, probably, sorry, Sarah, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, sorry for that. If you have all this installed, we have Vite, we have something called snippet formatting, we have printer installed, and we also, we don't have ESLint here. So we already have some of those things already installed. But now, let's actually install ESLint. For that, we just need to look for ESLint. And you will have it right here. And you need to install it. As you can see, I already had it. So we just need to install it, and that should be enough. And after installing it, we need to open the settings in here. Remember, everything that I'm telling you right now is completely optional. So I will open my settings. So you can go to File, Setting, Code Settings, for example, Preference, Settings, or you can execute Control, comma, or Command, comma, depending where you are. In these settings, we're going to look for the ES validate. So we look for ES validate. What's happening here? ES validate, and we need to edit the JSON file. We open that, and that will like create the ES validate option, something like this. And what we need to do pretty much is just copy and paste this. I don't know, and I know that we're not using React for now, but if they have it there, I just put it just in case. So it's pretty much just to take this, select it, put it there, You need to finish it in a comma. Remember that. The previous one need to have a comma too, just to have this one, and just save it. And that should be it for this. Now, after you have that, let me close that. We need to have a project with the package.json. We already have that. We have our package.json right there. And we should have the view version there. And in the root, we need to create a gsconfig.json file. So let's actually just create that. We do right here, right click, new file, and we do the gsconfig.json, and that file needs to have this section. That's just like an example, but it's enough. As you can see, something happened there. I show you why it's actually doing this. So I have some kind of formatting that when you save it, it formatted everything in a specific space. After you have that, you can actually just leave it at that for now. Now, something extra that I actually have here, you can actually look for another one called Tailwind CSS. On Tailwind, probably. There you go, Tailwind CSS IntelliSense from Brad Corners is the one who has over 240, and you need to install these too. This will help us to have auto-completion for the Tailwind classes and will simplify a lot for code. But after you have that, is that in order to work, you need to have a Tailwind gsconfig.js file. We already have that because we installed Tailwind in this project. And we need to change the CS validate to false. So let me just do my command comma, look for my css.validate. It's disabled, perfect. And what else it recommends us to do? Editor quick suggestions string to true. So let me just look for that in my settings again. So we need to change it here, and it's already to strings true. We have it right here. Perfect. What other things it recommend us to do? We need to do the include language section, and that's actually important. So we just copy this section here. We look on the settings for that, and we need to add an item, and that item, I added the plain text as HTML, and I added view as HTML. That's important. That way the extension will know that I need to look for the view files too. So you need to have those two there. After you have those, close it. Let's go for the next configuration, the image completion. Let me put that. I don't know if I had this one or not. Yes, I had it there. So we have the image completion is already there, and I believe that's it. So after you have all those, you can have like, it gives you like extra stuff that you can actually do, but I believe those should be more than enough to have it here. For that one, because we already have here installed, and that this came with the extension pack that we installed from Sara, let's actually do some kind of changes here. So we open our settings and we open our creator. Something that I do because I like it is the bracket spacing. I enable that. I enable, and let me look for this here. Let's look for single quotes. Single. And we have here reader single quote. I have that to enable. That means that by default I will use single quote instead of double quote. And there's another one called semi, I believe. If you have like too much like this, probably we can use semicolon. No, it's not there. Reader semi. I disable the add the semicolon at the end of every line. I don't like to use the semicolons there. There are people who actually like it. I don't. So I removed that one from here too to have it. And I have something extra like editor format. And we have this one. Where is it? I believe is editor dot onsave thing. Not sure where is it. Oh, I need to type editor correctly. Okay, yes, there you go. Format on save. So I enable this. So format a file on save. We just enable that. And I believe that's pretty much it that I have here. So after I did all that, everything that we do in the settings, so you need to do it all one time. The GS config, yes, you need to do it per project. So I just did it for this project for now. So let me just close it just in case. I will open. We need to like refresh it, and this is the fastest way. Probably the better ones, right? But for now, just do the trick. And we will see that we open the view file, we have extensions that are getting activated. We can see that at the bottom. And everyone is actually finished. Let's run the server just to have it run it. Do development. Boom. It's gonna refresh it. Let me just push it a little bit to help it. This is because my computer. Let's wait. There you go. Let me open my code. So I will minimize this. I don't need it for now. Let me change my text to hello there. And let me put an exclamation point there. I save it. Yes, you can push it. But now I have something extra here. As you can see, I have a bunch of things right now because it identified that I'm actually using Tailwind and I'm inside my class property. So let's say that I want to change the font color. A little text dot color, or a text dot let's do a color, I don't know, blue. I have several of those, and you can scroll down and you can see the shades of different shades of blue there. It's actually pretty neat. So let's select this one. You have that little square there, and you save it, and that'll get pushed. Let me delete this and add the dash, and I have the different sizing here, and it gives me what is the sizing or what is the property that will be applied as CSS. So let me select something really big, save it. Yes, boom. So my styling and everything is get saved, and it will help us with the development. So let me just revert everything back, keep it the way that it was. Now let's actually proceed with the application. So that was a little pause just to show you some things that I have it, because you will see things, for example, I have something like this, and whenever I just click Command S like save, so let me show you here. If I click save right away, it gets formatted my code, so it actually helped me a little bit. So let me change my indentation here, and if I save it, you see that indentation happen automatically. So the format of the code is right there, and we can see that ESLint get applied, treaters get applied, and everybody's happy here. So let's actually proceed. So what I need to do is I want to show you, and I will create everything in my application view, everything in my script tag, and the to-do application. So we're going to create the look and feel, the template, and the script tag will put everything that needs to be regarding the functionality. And after that, I believe that should be it. I will create a next video probably for next week. Well, we will scaffold the application a little bit better. We will extract information and creating components. I will show you how those components actually work. Now, something that I want to remark here, we're going to be using the composition API, but not only the composition API, we're also using the sugar reference with the script setup tag. whenever we have that there, you can see in our code, and let me see if I can actually install this and run it again. Let me see if I had that warning. No, I didn't have it. But I will show you that some kind of warning that should happen here. You can select the URL that the warning came from, and you have the documentation how to use this URL code. But I believe it's a lot better regarding it minimize how many code do you need to have in your application. So let's continue here. So let me open my code. So let's change this to be actually the name of the application, and let's do my to-do app. And let's put, I don't know, if it actually works. Yeah. Let me insert an emoji there. You can insert it if you want it, or you can leave it. That's okay, don't worry. Put that one there. Let me just copy this. Put it right here. Cool, my to-do app. So we need to have a title. We don't need to have an input. Input right here. In this, put a placeholder of new to do, where we want to put the new to do there. I will not create the bottom, I don't want it. And we have a couple of lists. And the first list is going to be my pending items, and my second list is going to be my completed item, right? So for the first list, I need to have a title, pending item, and let me just paste that just before here. Completed. So you saw that I mess up a little bit with the formatting, and then save it, everything gets where it's supposed to be. That's what I like, those that I had. So yeah, that's pretty much the layout, the general ones. So let's start wrapping everything in different divs, and let's start adding some sizing and a little bit of styling. So I'm not an expert in styling, I will say that, but Tailwind, I believe, helped us a lot to have something pretty much more presentable, I would say. So we can open. I will show you a little trick that I like to do. I will open my index.html, and probably not the best way to do it either, but it works. So my body tag, where we know that the application will get injected here. So I like to implement background gray 200. So everything gets a little bit gray there. Perfect. And let me close this, and let me close this. And now I can start working those. So let me put those two as headers, and then let me create this to everything together, and then every list together too. So let's create the header, and I will move my input and my h1 there, right? And probably I can have a main div on top of that, and then put that div right there. And this div, the first thing that I'm going to do is going to be flex element. It's going to be flex column, right? And justify center. There you go, and items center. Perfect. Oh, the tool is going to be minimum height of the screen. So everything's going to be right there. Perfect. Cool. So that's why I like it. So if you don't know which class you need to apply, of course you need to go to the Tailwind website and start looking at the documentation to apply different stuff. For example, flex, and they will help you everything that you need to know about flex and how to need to apply it, right? And with different classes, pretty much. Okay, so let's continue that. So let's change the text. This one to be a little bit bigger. Let's put a 6L. Yeah, probably. Let's change it to be in. No. Font. Light, probably. Yeah, probably light is going to be a little bit better. That's my to-do app, and we do text blue 800. There you go. Or actually, let's do red. Yeah, that looks a little bit more tone. Oh, let's do gray. Yeah, probably gray should be enough. Cool. Now my header, my input, let's put the class there. And let's put text dash, I don't know, to Excel probably. A little bit bigger to Excel. Yeah. Let's add a padding on the y-axis of 2. Oh, padding is like this, yes. Perfect. And then in order to get that little new to do placeholder right there, let's add a padding to the x-axis of 4 probably. There you go. And let's actually put it rounded. We can do rounded Excel. Yes, and let's do a flex row. That will pretty much like expand the element at the size of the parent. To do that, oh, of course, this one needs to be a class flex, and it should be a flex column too. Yeah, probably. Let's do this to be flex row. Whoa, no. So probably we don't need the flex row actually. Let's do white. Let's do I don't know. Let's do 3/4. No, I don't like that. Let's do white. Well, what else we have as white? Width, sorry, width. By 6. Probably we can do width. Full. Okay. Oh, what is happening here is this one is, I see what is happening here. Okay. So let's do this with full. There you go. Let's change this text to be center. Text center. And let me try to minimize everything. Put it the parent object, and it's going to be this one. Actually, I believe it can be the container. That container. There you go. So we limit the side bit. And I have it. Yeah, I like that. One more thing. Let's do a margin top of 4. Separated. So let's increment it to 8. There you go. Oh. Yeah, they're looking the way it's supposed to. And when you type something, let's actually change the color to text dash gray. Gray. 800. Save it. Okay, it's not that, a little more. Okay, it's still a darker color, but not that much, right? The contrast is not that big. Okay, so we have that there. Let's work with the main content actually, and let's put all one there. And let's create a section. And let's put depending type in there. And let's create another section. And let me select the second section to be there. Oh, as you can see, nothing happened there. So let's do class equal with full. Yeah, but do a container. There you go. Do a container there, and let's do a margin top of 16. Yes, 16. So we separate that, probably too much. 8. Yes. Let's change the h3 to at the same time. Class equal. Let's do text to Excel, 3XL is the same size of the input box. Do 3XL there. Let's do probably on team. Yes, and let's do a text print. Let's do 800. On the second one, let's change it just to red. But the pending items and the completed items. Yeah, I'll start like this. Now we need to change the list to actually have a bunch of classes to look a little more something that we did before, right? We know that we need to have the background white. There you go. We need to know that we need to be rounded Excel because we need to have that little here the same way that we did it over here. And probably we can actually add these three elements to this one. Right here. So it's going text to Excel, perfect. Padding Y, padding X. Probably we do need to do font light. And probably we need to change this size into 2. Yeah, a lot better. Let's go to the UL and let's do class. Let's do space Y of 2. And then, well, let me remove this and I will show you later what it actually does. Let me just put my section. Yeah, let's do the section. Class equal space Y of 2. Between the elements inside the section, you add a little separation. Let's change it to 4. A lot better. We need to do the same with the other section. I wanted to remember that. Cool. And this section onto the main, let's actually add that whiting in the 2 sections, so the 2 sections are actually not right together. So let's add space Y 4 probably. Let's do 8. But also a little bit more. Yeah, perfect. So let me add the hover state to my ending item. And let's do text green 800. Yeah, and let's do text center. There you go. And let's put on the hover state, the text is going to be white. And on the hover state, the background is going to be green 100. So we do this. Yeah, it's doing it. Perfect. But probably what we need to do now, the cursor, let's put pointer. And that will make the element to have that little cursor for the mouse. Boom. Let's see if we can actually add a transition. I don't remember how the transition actually works. Color, probably transition. Now it has like a little better effect. Let me remove it. And this, I don't know if you can actually see it, like it's right away. And if I put the transition there, but a little fading there. Let me do a transition duration. Let's increase that to 1000. Now you can actually see that change, right? So yeah, it's doing it. So let's keep it the official transition color. Probably we can use not to be a little more specific, right? Just to have that little animation there. Cool. Now what we need to do, we copy all the class section and we put it to the other list. And everything that is green, like this one, we change it to red. And there you go. Cool. So we have the look and feel. I believe it should be it. Now in the main section we have the width full. Can I do container inside the section? No. But I was thinking just to make this not that long. Well, probably let's keep it like that, just like have consistency. So now what I want to do is when I add something, click enter, I need to be adding those. So we have the look and feel already done. So let's start adding now the functionality. Now that we have the look and feel already done, let's add a couple of things to script tab. So we need to import something from view. And that's going to be the different properties or elements for the reactivity system. And the main one that we're going to be using is going to be the reference, the ref. That will keep track what something changed over time. So in this one, what I need to have, I will create some to-dos. It's going to be a reference of an array. That array will have some object. Let's put actually ID 0, for example, text hello, and let's actually status pending, and let's just copy that over, and let's create another one. It's going to be 2, go there, status done. Okay. So this to do is the one that's going to be, it's going to be like our database, let's call it like that. It's just a placeholder for our state. And what I need to be doing now is I need to show those right here where they're supposed to be. And let me change this to be pending just in this case. So for the first one, remember we need to use the before. Now for the before we can actually do to do in to dos. And we need to apply a key. And this key should be a dynamic one, so that's going to be applied like this. So in the key we're going to see the to-do.id. And that for every element we have like an ID embedded in the operation, so we can actually select some things from there. And let's save that. So for every to-do in to-dos, this actually will happen and will be there. And we saw that we have an issue. Let's add the space by 2. Work. Continue. Oh wait, yeah, sorry. This should be on the parent. That's why we had it right here. And now we have that separation there for element. And let's increase it to 4. Probably going to look a little bit better. Yeah. And just in case, let's add this one to the other list. Okay. So we're saying here that for every to do in to do, behind that real key, it's going to be like added. Now we are sending the text as 1. That's why we have that. But we can define now the individual object. So we go to select the to-do.text, we can actually have those right there, hello there. Because we have two different elements. There's one issue. What I want to do when I select it, I want to that one to change from pending to done. So let's say that this actually changed to done. This is still getting reflected right here. So we need to change that. We need to put all the downs here and pendings over here. So for that, we need to have like a subset of the to-do element, and for that we can use the computed. The computed element is something that will look for when something reacts, and it will give you some kind of subset or operation on top of that. So now that we have a computer, we can actually do const pending equal computed. And put it like that. I don't remember that much how it does. Let me just look for that right now. Something really cool is view mastery composition API. Those guys have something really cool document there that will actually help us to understand and what need to be done in the composition. So let me actually look for the computed. They already have that. And the way that the computed so is okay. It have a function inside. Cool. So we have something like this, and let's actually create an empty, non-empty function, like an anonymous function, to something inside. By the way, this thing that you have here is a simple equal with a it's a fat arrow equal and the greater than that command. But because I have ligatures enabled on my phone, it like put those together to actually see that fat arrow. But when you see this, it's actually actually let me remove that ligature. So I didn't show this. Sorry, I missed that. I have my editor from ligature. Let me change this to false for now, and you will see that this is my fat arrow, right? But because this font that I'm using it actually have ligatures, I like to enable those. I believe it gives like an extra flavor of how your code looks like. So now that we have this, we can actually return something, and we can actually return to-do.value.filter. Remember, because we are doing a reference, in order to get to the data inside here, we need to reference to the value section. So we need to do a filter, and for every to-do, we need the to-do.status is going to be equal, and we did a 3 equal sign to pending. Yeah. Because we're using one, we can actually get rid. If you did the JavaScript modules from FreeCam, you will see that we can actually remove that return cap something like that, and it's pretty much exactly the same. Yeah, that should be working. So now let me just get back here. Instead of going to to-dos, I will go to pending. So for every to-do in pending, I will do that. Now we see that hello is the only one that is pending. If I change there to pending, save it, both of them are there. If I change this to done, that one is not getting there. So now it's doing the reactivity that we like it. So let's create the pending, and let me just create another one for completed. And I put done, and actually pending to do and completed to do, just to have that semantic name, let's say it. So let's actually do this one right here, and this before that key, we need to paste it in the other list element. But this one is going to be completed to do, and we need to send the to-do.text. So if we change it to done, we can push it there. Okay, it's done. You get pushed there. Get back to pending. Yeah, cool. So it's working. Now, let me stop here right now. As you can see, I believe it's a little more straightforward. Remember that we need to have like the data element in order to have the to-dos before in the option API. In here in the composition, we just create an element that's a reference, that's the new things that need to be added. But with that, we don't need to even to export it because we're using the sugar code. So we can actually just enable it and make it available right here. It's working where they're supposed to. So now I believe their code is a lot more cleaner, it's a lot more understandable, and we're able to see it. We have some computed element, and we call it that pending to-dos and completed to-dos. And those going to do is pretty much getting my to-dos and filter those by the status, ending and done. That's it. We don't need more over there. I believe we have pretty much almost everything that we need. So now what I want to do is for this list items, I need to create it like whenever I click that, the status need to be changed. So let's actually go here. So I need to add an event listener now. So whenever I click it, sorry, I need to do something about it. And let's change status. Let's call it like that. And let's create that function. So let's call change status. And this is a simple function because it doesn't need to return anything. It will be the equivalent as method in the option API. So this one doesn't require anything, and we're going to do something about it. So we're going to be doing, actually, yes, you need something. We need to send an ID there. ID. So that ID is going to be the to-do that we actually click it. So this element exists for every to-do. So whenever we click change status, we can actually send it to-do.id. So we can actually do something about this to-do. And let me save it later. So now that I have that to-do ID, I can look for that. So I can actually do, let me look through my to-dos. So it will be to-do.values.map. And I will see for my, and every element is going to be a to-do, very much. But let me set that through here. And I will say if to-do.id is the same as the ID that I'm sending, then I need to do something with this to-do. I need to verify to-do.status is going to be equal something. In order not to have that if statement anymore, we can actually do something like this. Probably you saw that in the free code gap. We can actually do another validation, like change the equal sign depending on tertiary if statement. We can say if to-do.status equal pending. That means that we need to assign the done. If not, we need to assign the pending. Let me save it. That should be it. Yeah. Problem. So that means if I click it, I send that ID over here. I will go to the values and we look for that. And whenever I find that ID that I'm sending is the same for the to-do that I'm looping through, I just will do that particular to-do. I will just change it to pending or done, depending what is the value, what currently held. So if it's holding pending, it changes to done. If it's not holding pending, it will change to pending. It's pretty much what I'm saying there. So let's see if this actually works. So if I click this, it's not doing it. Woo! Oh, why is not doing it? What we are missing here? Let's start troubleshooting. Change status. Just in case. The same one that we have here. Change status. Yes, it is. Whenever we click it. So let me do right click. I will inspect my element. I will go to console to see if we have some errors there. And yes, we had it. can access property map. Oh, so I need to do, oh, values here. We need to access to the value. This is singular. So I save that. It looks like now it should work. Let's see. If I click it, there you go. It went to there. If I click this one, it go to here. If I click the completed, it's not doing anything because I don't have this click statement here in the list for the completed. So that's why if I click it, that's in there. Perfect. How cool is this, right? Pretty neat. So we can actually start working with those. Perfect. So now that we have that, I believe I can get rid of the content, this dummy content, and I will keep my to-do as an empty reference of an array. But now we don't have any item. And what I need to do is whenever I add something here, and I click enter, that one should be sending to the pending item. So let's actually do it. So that means, so the first thing that we need to do, we need to have a new reference. That's going to be const new to do, going to be equal a reference of an empty string. Right. We did need to do, it's pretty much like another data element. We need to our placeholder, we need to the v model tied it to that need to do. That means if we assign something here, that will get injected here, and if I change the content, that will get injected here. So let me put next, save it. Yes, it's working. I put the X in my code, and because we have the model that those actually get connected, we can get render that information there. Really. So now what I need to do is another function. That's good. Add to do. And this one is going to be actually going to be a method. Now it's going to be an empty. I don't need anything here, and I will create something. So I will check if my new to do dot value dot length bigger than, I don't know, 0. Probably I need to do something about it. And what I need to do, I need to go to my to do dot value dot push that value, and I need to push something. I need to have an ID. No, I will create something like this. Need to have a text, and we need to have a status. So those are the 3 elements that I need to push, right? That's the way that we have the data. So the text is going to be really simple. It's going to be need to do dot value. Okay. The status is going to be simple because it's a new one. The status will be pending, and this is a string. Okay, so the pending. The ID, we need to come up with a way to identify that. So just to be really simple, I will do my to do dot value dot length. So the first time, because it's 0, it's going to, the ID is going to be 0. The second one is going to be 1. So you put like a different ID. Something really important, the ID need to be different every time. So with that, because we are not deleting items, I can use the value length just to have it there and to put it. Boom. To have that, I can get back to my input, and I can do whenever this change to it's another event listener, do something about it, and what I need to be doing is add that to do. Cool. And it's going to add it only if my to do value here is bigger than 0, like the length is bigger. So that means if I click enter here, it's not doing anything until it has something. I click enter, something got added, and then I start working with my element, and we can see those get reflected there. Cool, right? But this didn't get deleted. So in order to make that to be deleted, I just need to do my new to do value equal nothing. So if I put something, click it, that'll get deleted right away. I put another thing, and they'll get inserted right away. I can see this working the way it's supposed to. So with a few lines, and then we have a complete application under 80 lines. We have the complete to do with the look and feel all together. This JavaScript setup is actually really small. It's really simple to read, and I believe it's really understandable to get all those elements working the way they're supposed to. So one last thing that I would like to add here, and just let's add a couple more computed elements. We can actually do right here when we have the pending items, and let's do completed to do dot length. Say that. Oh wait, this is the pending to dos. Pending to dos. So we have two there because we have two elements. We got a tier one that get added right there. Pretty neat. So we can now do something really similar with the completed elements. So we have it right here, and let's do. And we put a double mustache brackets, and let's do now my completed to do dot length. If I click this one, that'll get pushed, and now without that the number get updated. Let me refresh, because we're not saving that information anywhere. We can see that it gets deleted every time that we refresh the page. What I want to do is one more time. Let's do another statement. Let me go to my completed to do, and I will go pretty much to the section, and I will do if only, show me only if my completed to do length is bigger than 0. And that if statement, I can copy that over, put that one in the section for the other one, and now we have a cleaner application. If I add a new to do, click enter. Oh yeah, of course. The pending item needs to look like the pending to do. Sorry. There you go. That would get it inserted there. If I click it, it will change to done. That means it should go to the completed list, and my pending item, because it's empty, it should disappear. Yeah, there you go. And add another. Now we have both of them. And they're just showing whenever I have something to show. If I don't have anything to show, that just get deleted. Pretty neat, right? So and then we have pretty much everything done. And now with that little thing, we just added a couple of lines, and we have those 83 there. But it's working the way it's supposed to. Now, something extra that I want to do just right now is, let me just cancel, let me just close my code. I don't need that anymore. I will show you how to now add the Git repository to here. So we have in Visual Studio, we have this here, and we can see which changes will happen. So whenever we do it in the command line, we do like git add all of them. It's pretty much like go to changes and do this one over here. I'm going to stage it, and then I can commit, like finish it, add, and that just get updated right away. And my Git repository, my Git local Git repository is already fixed. Now because I have Git code pages, I should be done people create right here where I am. Repository name, I will call it Vite to do. Yeah. A simple U3 do app invite. I don't know, you to put like some kind of description there. It's going to be public. It will create in your current directory. I will say yes. Repository and array remote. So I can actually just do a git push origin master and that get done. If I go to GitHub and I probably can go to /errorman B, I don't need to log in because this actually is public. I should be able to go to repositories and I can actually see my Vite to do right here. I bring it, that little simple view tree to do app invite. That's pretty much what we put it there. So now on my repo. So that's pretty much everything that we have here. Let me send this a little further and let's actually publish it. Let me show you how to do that. So let me just go to my server. I'm in my home directory and let's go to site. I have the intro for HTML. Let me just clone my code. So I will copy this from here. I will do git clone, actually git clone this one. Boom. I go to do. I will install my dependencies and let me show you how to build this to production. Or we need actually to do this. So I need to install my dependencies in my server, and now I can just run. Oh yeah, we have a new version. Yeah, let's install it like this. So we have that command right here. There you go. Let's install everything just in case. Yes, everything is updated. And now I can just run npm run build. And this is what we're going to be doing. We wait that for a minute. It will create a distribution folder with the HTML side. Now you saw that one we have the CSS and the JavaScript enabled. So we will go to the distribution folder. We need to serve this index in our main application. So as you remember, let me just go, let me set my current directory and let me just go to, let me copy recursively everything and I will paste it to etc nginx, I believe. No, r, what I have, I don't remember. HTML. No, it's not there. Let's see. Yeah, show me everything. No. Let's do locate index.html. Oh, okay, it's not there. Let me look to the, I believe it was, I don't remember. Oh yeah, www. There you go. And then we have the HTML here. Yeah, cool. So let me just, I will delete everything here, just remove everything just in case. If doing that, that means if I go to my website, that's what I see. We have that forbidden, nothing is there. And now in this folder, I will just copy recursively. I don't know, probably will, yes, recursively. from my home directory, Vite, Vite to do, distribution, folder, everything. Here. Okay, now that, so that means if I refresh this, I have now my new Vite application here. Hello there. Boom. It's working and it's published. Just with that. So I know that it went fast in some areas, but slower in other ones. But I actually hope that you like this video. If you have any question, any doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. And the next one, what I want to do is, let me just change my load. And let me just minimize the section, sorry. I will create different components for different areas. You can see here, for example, that we have the two lists that are pretty much the same. Just change the colors there, and that's it. But they have the same property, the same everything. And we can a way to share this logic between different components. So I will scaffold this a little bit better, and it should be working the way that it's supposed to. So thank you for getting the video. Remember, if you have any question or doubt, don't hesitate to reach me. Happy coding, everybody.